Hello guys, welcome to episode number 5 of the Darts podcast. Today we're joined by Colin Freeman. Now we're going to go over what he's doing at some point in the next sort of 10-15 minutes or so. But basically Colin plays darts in a few of the leagues that I play in, and we're going to talk about what he's got going on. So how are you, mate? You alright?
I'm very good, Jack, and thank you very much for inviting me tonight.
That's alright. So you have, for as long as I've played darts, you've always been around. So have you been playing just forever?
Over 50 years now.
Yeah.
So showing my age, through my first dart at youth club at Great Barton when I was 14, and I've not stopped throwing them since.
So what's Great Barton just up the road?
Yeah, that's where I grew up.
And so was that just in a hall somewhere? And
yeah, just in the village hall as it was then. It's changed a lot now, so there's no dartboard anymore, but we had one for youth club, and my youth leader taught me to throw a dart. He taught me to play table tennis, and he got me involved with Great Barton Cricket Club when I was 14 as well. So I owe him a lot.
Yeah. So it wasn't specifically a darts orientated thing?
No.
It was just something that you just did every now and then?
Yep.
Was that something that you gravitated to quite quickly? Because I feel like you were probably quite an all-rounder at sports anyway, because I just know you fairly well. You've got quite a big interest in sport. Yeah. Was it just something that you picked up really quickly?
Yeah, I mean, once I got to 18, I was able to start going into the pubs to play, and while my friends were out taking their girlfriends out in the new car, I was in the Bunbury Arms playing darts and practicing 7 nights a week.
Yeah. So what sort of standard would you say that you got to?
Well, I play Super League. But as you probably noticed on occasions, my nerves let me down, and so I've never moved higher than that. But in practice, I can hit anything and everything, but I just let myself down sometimes when I play in matches, and that's one of the reasons why I started doing some of these charity events, so that I just had to throw darts totally relaxed, and nobody trying to beat me.
Yeah, that's fair actually. That's a good idea. I'm the same. I'm just like, if I get nervous, I'm done. I might as well not even play because I'm just so nervous. But once I've sort of passed it, I'm alright. But yeah, so let's get on to the whole charity thing. So just explain what you're doing and why you're doing it.
Well, we can go back, if that's okay, to 2014. I was having my 60th birthday barbecue with just some family and friends, and my eldest daughter and I have a mutual friend who lives in Ipswich, had just lost her 18-month-old granddaughter to a rare form of blood cancer, and the family were looked after by Clic Sargent, as it was known then. Young Lives for Cancer is what they go as now. And I was sort of said to myself that night, I've been promising to do something to raise money for a long time and never bothered. So that night basically got me to do it. And in 2014 and 2015 I did 100,001 down, which I did in one night at the Ipswich Greyhound, and we raised, I think it was about 150 the first year, about 300 the second year. And talking to Gemma, my partner, she said, "You're not happy with that, are you?" And I said, "No, I need to do something more." And so then I said, we'll do the 1,000,001 next year. And when she picked herself up off the floor, we discussed it, and I said, "Yeah, I can do it. I'll do it." And so we set it up in 2016, and I think we raised £1,500 the first time. We did it again in 2017 and raised just over 3,000. And I've set it up again after 5 years, basically because we've had 2 years with no darts and no fundraising, and I wanted to have an event that would make up the shortfall for the last 2 years. And hopefully we've found at this time by going bigger than we did before. The first 2 I did quite locally, as you know. I was here at the club for one session, and I was doing 10 days on the trot, 6 hours a day. But now I'm 68 in a week's time. I need to just sort of temper it a little bit. So we've gone for 3 pubs a day. It's going to take about 2.25 hours in each pub, and then move on to the next one. And we've had some great support from Wetherspoons, and they're letting us use 27 of their pubs on the tour around England.
Just a quick message from today's sponsor. They are LP Metal Detecting. If you want to go and check out their website, it is www.lpmetaldetecting.com. They have all the stuff for your metal detecting needs, whether you're a beginner and you want to get involved in metal detecting, or you're a long-standing metal detector and you want to get some more bits, some more pieces, some more stuff. Go and check them out. Also, check them out on Twitter as well at LP Detecting. If you're a fan of the channel, you're a fan of the podcast and all that sort of stuff, and you're not really that interested in the metal detecting side of things, then just go and drop them a follow. You'll be supporting me and you'll be supporting them who are supporting me. So yeah, anyway, back to the podcast. So going back to the 100,001, because you track all the scores as well, don't you?
We do. It's all recorded.
So how did the first one go, or the 100,001? Because it's a hard number to get your head around unless you do a lot of maths and stuff and really try and work out what you're averaging and how fast you throw as to how long it's going to take you. How did the first one go, and was it faster or slower than you thought? It
was a lot quicker than what I thought. I think if I remember rightly, I averaged 74 point something on that night. I think I hit 26 180s. And it flew past, and we finished it in under 5 hours. And, that was, I was silently impressed with myself that I did it that well. Obviously, 1,000,001 is a lot more to throw. And, but going back to the 100,001, I mean, it was so quick, really, compared to what I thought it was going to be. And we started, I think it was at 7 o'clock, and I finished by about 11:30, something like that. We did it in just over 4.5 hours, which I didn't think that would ever be that quick.
Yeah, it's a good standard to throw at, to be fair.
Yeah,
it's very good, especially for a long amount of time. That's something I was having a think the other day of videos that I could make, and I think the whole your 1,000,001 inspiration made me think maybe I could do, even if it's just for a video, I could try and do 100,001. And I started recording myself throwing and thinking, right, it's going to take me this long, and I throw this amount of darts. And I got to the point where I was like, this is going to be 6-7 hours. I'm going to be here forever. So it might be a video for the future, and maybe I can incorporate some charity into it as well. But moving on to the 1,000,001, so you're breaking it up. How many days is it over?
So we're doing 10 days again, but we're doing 30 pubs instead of 10.
Yeah.
And we're going to go to 3 each day. So the first one will start at 11 o'clock. We should be finished by about 1:15. The second one will start about 3:15 to finish about 5:30. And then the last one will be 8 p.m. until we finish. And I think it's 4 of them. We're staying at Wetherspoons Hotels, which are hosting the final session on those days, so I'll actually be able to have a couple of pints.
Nice, yeah, that's all good. And also, so your partner Gemma, she records them as well.
She does all the recording of the scores on the laptop, and she has done an amazing amount of work to help set all this schedule up. She has put hours into it, and without her there wouldn't be one. It's as simple as that. The level of support she's given me since we got together, and it's mutual support, we support each other in everything. But without that support, there's no way I could have got this off the ground, not on my own. So I owe her a lot.
So when do you start? When does this all begin?
Right, we're starting on Saturday the 6th of August, and we're doing 3 local venues around Bury St Edmunds. So we're going to be at the Ixworth Greyhound, where I play on a Friday night, and then Pot Black, where, as you know, we have the Super League team on a Tuesday night. And the Mace Bearer, that used to be my local when I first moved back to Bury, and I've done hours and hours of practice there over the years for these events. So, and they have always supported me tremendously well.
Yeah. So, are you? If anyone was to watch this and think I want to go and support him, are they able to come to any of the venues?
Any of the venues,
sit and watch it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Any of the venues. I mean, we're going down through to Royston on the second day, Kingston upon Thames, back to Northolt, and then on the following day we're starting in Guildford, and then we're going down to Portsmouth and Southampton, and then we're going to cut across to Bristol, where we start the next day, and we're going up through Stroud and into Worcester, where I lived while Gemma was at university. So we've got hopefully quite a lot of people turning up for that one. We're then going across to Rowley Regis, which is on the edge of the West Midlands, going up to Ellesmere Port and Winsford. And then the following day we start in Liverpool and Hoyton and then across to Wigan. And the Wetherspoons pub there actually has a top dart team play out of there, so I know we're going to get a lot of support in that venue. The following day we're going down from Pontefract via Halifax to Leeds, and then starting in Leeds the next day. And then we're going down from Leeds to Wath-on-Dearn near Rotherham, Sheffield, Doncaster, Nottingham, across the March, over to Lowestoft and back to Bury St Edmunds to do the final night in the Corn Exchange. And I think I missed one out, but hey, that weren't too bad.
Yeah, I'll put a link in the description, all the comments or whatever, if you're watching on Spotify or YouTube, whatever, and just a link to all the dates. So if you want to go and support Colin, or you want to go and watch him, or go and buy him a drink or something while he's there, or sponsor him, I guess, as well. Feel free to go and have a look. So when it comes to let's take for example the first day we're in Bury, and so the goal for day one is to score 100,000 points over the course of 3 pubs. Do you just is it a case of as soon as you cross that's you done for the day?
That will be me done for the day. Yes. So we're looking at scoring between 33 and 34,000 to take us to that 100,000 a day
per venue.
Per venue.
Yeah.
And as I say, it takes about 2.25 hours. I've been practicing at home for the last sort of 8 or 9 weeks. I've completed 1,000,001 down once, a 74 point something average, and I'm halfway through the second one for practice, and I'm doing about 75.4 in that. So if I can do that on the event itself, I will be thrilled, absolutely thrilled.
Yeah. Have you looked into official world records for this? Because I know there's a world record for the fastest, I think, 1,000,001 in a fours, or maybe it's 100,000 one. It was by like Daryl Gurney and
I know
them lot. But is there anything for a solo?
No, there is nothing for a solo. I've checked the internet dozens of times. We did it with the Guinness Book of Records in mind in 2017, but they set me a target of 75 a throw, which I didn't get to, so they wouldn't put it in.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Yeah, because that's to be like for a pretty like normal pub Super League player, that's still a decent score.
That is,
especially over the course of 6 hours a day, 60 hours. Yeah, that takes some doing.
It takes some doing, and we did have a discussion about it because I didn't think that was what they should be doing. That's not what the book was set up to do, to set people targets. It was for people who probably got a screw loose like myself to set a record for other people to take on and beat.
Yeah, because I think I have to fact check this, but I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure it was like Campbell Jackson, Mickey Mansell, Daryl Gurney, and someone else.
McGeady,
maybe. So it was someone else. It was all Northern Irish or Irish, whatever.
There was 8 of them.
Oh, was it? But I'm pretty sure the average that they ended up throwing was like 27 point something.
Yeah, just over 80.
And these are like professional. I've marked for them all on the Pro Tour. These are like top level professional dart players. Yeah. And Guinness Book of Records want you to average only 2 points per dart less. Yeah, that's some standard. That's if someone does ever set that, they've earned it, fully earned it.
One day, Joe, I'll show you the emails that floated between myself and the Guinness Book of Records when they told me that the world record had been set by a team at a social club in Northern Ireland of mixed ability. Oh yeah, no, not mixed ability. I've marked for most of them. Well, I sent the Guinness Book of Record a list of all the players and what they'd won and where they were and what they were doing. I got an apology for that one. But then I mentioned that I'd seen Mo Farah in the Guinness Book of Records that year, and I just asked them what target they set him, and they didn't like the question. All right, so maybe we'll give the Guinness Book of Records a little break. We'll have to look into that. There must be people who can help you out with if anyone's listening to this and knows the Guinness Book of Records process inside out, then send Colin a message, because I know that I'm quite into the Guinness Book of Records. There's a guy I watch on YouTube who he just breaks records, and there's quite a lot into the whole application process and stuff. But yeah, maybe it's doable one day. Well, I'd like to think so. I mean, we filmed the whole event in 2017. Every venue I went, they signed to say they witnessed that I did it and how long it took. And that just wasn't good enough, unfortunately. I mean, I would love to have got in there, but now I'm more focused on raising money for the 2 charities rather than having personal glory out of it, which was probably in my mind last time.
Yeah. Let's talk about the two charities. So the first charity was Clic Sargent, which was the children with cancer.
Yep.
And what was the other charity?
The
you were
other
raising for?
charity is the ME Association, and they help fund research into ME. My youngest daughter Stephanie has had it for many years. It's wrecking her life. I mean, she can be bedridden with it for months on end. Sometimes she'll be able to get up and go out, and her life is a roller coaster because of ME. And it's fairly similar to long COVID. There's some very big similarities there with the two illnesses. So I'm hoping that we will raise awareness for both charities on the way round. I mean, obviously Wetherspoons raised money for Clic Sargent, and they've raised millions over the years. But we need to make people more aware of ME and what it does to young people. Because back in the 1980s, a little bit before you were born, Jack, they called it yuppie flu because young people were getting it, in the city of London and places like that. But, it's a seriously, bad thing to have, whether you're young or old. And it wrecks your life. And so if we can get more awareness of that, and hopefully, the government stumps up a bit more money for research into that alongside long COVID, then I will have achieved what this event is set up to do.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Is there a goal? Is there a sort of a monetary or a raising goal that you've set yourself this year?
I've set two. So one for the actual event over the 10 days, because I've agreed that everything we do on the sponsorship sheets and what we make in the pubs on the way round will go to Young Lives versus Cancer, and that's why Wetherspoons have come on board. But then we've got online sponsorship going on as well, and that will be shared 50-50 with the two charities who have both agreed with that. And it's probably way out there, but I'd like to raise £1 million online. And my original idea was to have 1,000,001 people sponsor me £1 each. But none of the platforms that you use to raise money will take that lower amount of money.
Oh, so they can't donate £1?
No, unfortunately not. We've gone with a platform which is Give As You Live. It's recommended by both charities, and unlike the others, they don't take X amount, like 25p out of every transaction. They just set a basic 4.8%, which is like less than 5p in the pound, whereas that's double that and treble that if you use some of the others. I won't mention their names. I don't want to get you into trouble.
Keep me safe.
Yeah. So yes, we've gone with that. Their minimum is £5.
Yeah.
And I know for a lot of people that's not possible, and I understand that. I understand about the cost of living at the moment. It's affecting all of us. But for those who can, donate £5 and share this event with their friends and their family and ask them if they could do the same thing. If we can get like a domino effect online, we could raise a serious amount of money. £1 million sounds a lot, but there's probably 1 million dart players in this country.
Yeah,
only need a fifth of them to put a fiver in, and we're there. Yeah. And people who are not involved in darts have made donations already as well. So I'm well on my way to £1,000 with the sponsorship forms, and we will get up more than that after I've been around small businesses around Bury like I did before, and many of them supported me. We raised quite a lot of money that way. But online, if you can find, people can find that fiver, and sponsor that event. It's going to two amazing charities that do work that I just couldn't even begin to think of doing. How do you work with a family whose youngster has just been given 6 months to live? It broke my heart.
Yeah.
And so if I can help these people in a little way, then I'll feel very, very satisfied.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. So is this something that you think that you could continue doing for another few years as well after, or do you think there's a sell by date on this?
According to my partner Gemma, there is definitely a sell by date on it. Otherwise, I could find myself in traction in the local hospital.
Yeah, I mean, I to throw that darts for that long. And then to go back again the next day and the next day and the next day. Like I can come up here and I can play darts for 6 hours, but I'm not playing darts again for another week because my arm hurts. Is that you say you've been training and stuff, but you genuinely have to train for something like this. People think like darts is a sport that requires no physical exertion, but you throw darts for a few hours, your arm hurts.
Oh, it can do, yeah, unless you do it every day, which is what I do. But I can give you some stats from the last time we did it. It was 45,733 darts. So that was over 15,000 visits to the dartboard, walking about 18 miles.
Yeah.
And people would never believe that if you told them, in the street, no, you don't walk 18 miles on a dartboard. You can do quite easily.
And so that was for the 1 million.
That was for the 1,000,001, yeah. Yeah, and so this year I shall wear a Fitbit on my wrist, and we will get the exact amount of steps that I do during the event, from the start of the first one to the end of the last one. And I think it was well over 100,000 steps last time, so it will be the same again this time.
Yeah, that seems low. 100,000 seems low. I mean, I can do 20,000 at work.
Yeah.
So it feels like you'd definitely be more than 100,000.
It's about sort of 7 to 8 paces, each time you go to the dartboard and come back to get ready to throw again. So yeah, 15,000 times 8, so 120,000.
Yeah.
So it's plus 120,000 definitely.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So what's kind of the next thing for you when it comes to darts? Have you got any plans or anything else that you want to try and do? Any records that you want to try and break, or other charities or other just challenges that you want to do? I'm
looking forward to coming back next year to the random pairs and beating you in the final.
We'll see. I'll tell you what. Just for some context, I beat Colin on the weekend and in the random pairs final. But yeah, I can't believe how bad I was first game. Then after that, confidence was up there, and that was it. I was unstoppable after that. But yeah, keep going.
Yeah, I mean, I've not set myself any goals, but I mean, as I say, I'm 67 now, 68 next week. I've probably just had my second best ever season in Super League, which has shocked me really. I should be getting worse every week, not better. But I'm probably throwing darts better now than I have ever done. I mean, I've recorded 170 ton pluses during the Super League season, six maximums, and that's good for me, and I'm just thrilled about that. So if I can maintain that standard for a few more years, I mean, I think the one goal I would like to set myself would be the oldest player to play Super League.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the age is for that, but I will find out, and I will try and keep going until I beat it.
Yeah. What about other challenges? Has it always been the 100,001 and the 1,000,001 you've tried to do, or have you ever thought of other challenges, which is like walk a marathon in steps while playing darts or anything like that?
No, I mean, what I've said to people and what I'll say to the listeners tonight, if you're going to raise money for any charity, doesn't matter what charity, if you're going to raise money for a charity, do something that you love doing. I don't like cycling. I'm not that keen on walking or running. I've done all that over the years. So I do darts because I have a passion for it, as you know. And for people who've got a passion for cycling, if you want to raise money, get on that bike and do it. The landlord at the Ixford Greyhound, where I'm going to start on the 6th of August, he had a foot amputated a few years back, and within a year he was on the bike raising money for the physiotherapy department here at the West Suffolk Hospital, doing 100 miles after having the foot removed. And I thought, wow, now if he can do that, surely I can do something with a set of darts. And so he really sort of started to inspire me. And our mutual friend Colin Freeman with the Summer League here, raising money for Clic Sargent every year, that's inspired me to do something as well. I was lazy for 60 years of my life, just doing things that I enjoyed doing and going where I wanted to go. Now the opportunity came, sadly through a friend, to do something for somebody else, and I will look back now and I will be satisfied that I did what I promised I would do 40 years ago, even though I left it a bit late. Yeah.
So the websites to donate, are they some weird codes and stuff on
no,
websites, or is it easy
it's
to
fairly
remember?
Straightforward. It's donate.giveasyoulive.com/fundraising/1,000,001 with no commas in numbers, and then -darts. That's how you get onto the fundraising page.
Yeah, I'll put links if anyone wants to have a look and donate over there. Let's move away from darts. There's one thing that I see you post a lot, which I find very interesting, is the fact that you've been to every league
every football league ground, and probably half of the National League grounds as well now.
Yeah.
And I've got to go to Stockport this year because I've not been, but Gemma has, because she lived in Leeds for many years. So we'll keep the 92 ticking over. Hopefully after this year, as long as nobody sort of storms the National League from nowhere, we won't have to do it too many times.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we've had some great fun, and we've met some great people. And it's amazing really, because to me football is a sport, but you should be competitive if you're going to play, and you want your team to win, so you're competitive that way. But there's no reason why you can't get on with other supporters, and we've met some great people on the way round, and we're in touch with one or two of them online all the time, because they tell us where they're going, we tell them where we're going. We've met up a couple of times at a mutual ground. Yeah, football's a passion. I mean, I'm an Ipswich Town fan. I think that still counts as football, but we've not had a good couple of years, have we? And I was at the FA Cup final in 1978 when we beat Arsenal, if anyone's listening. And yeah, it's always been a passion. My family are actually all from Norwich. Every single member of my family, going back generations, are Norwich fans. And I'm the only one that was born out of Norwich. And I grew up here at Great Barton. And my dad sent me to school at Bayton in a Norwich kit. And I can't tell you how many times I got kicked because I ran out of memory. And they converted me to follow Ipswich by taking me to a game under threat of more kickings. And I fell in love with the game and with Ipswich Town. And I have shares in the club. I bought them in the early 2000s when the club was in danger of actually going out of business, which a lot of people don't realise. If it hadn't been for the amazing Bobby Robson paying £1 million for one of our players up front, who knows what might have happened to the club. We may well have gone. So yeah, it's always been a passion, and it gave me the great opportunity to have a right go at Roy Keane one night at a shareholders meeting. So that was good fun.
So when it comes to the whole going to pretty much every stadium in the whole country or the whole of the UK or whatever, was it something that you just decided, right, I'm going to do this, or had you just been to a load of them? You were like, I reckon I could finish these off,
Well, I started going in the 70s. I didn't go to too many away games. I'd been to Chelsea and Arsenal and most of the London clubs. Jem from Leeds had done a lot of the northern clubs. And when we got together, we said we should finish this. We both want to do it, so we've done the rest of them together. And of course, her team, Sheffield United, gave us a marvellous opportunity because they spent 6 years in League One, so we were able to do the whole league over that period of time. But yeah, and we've had tremendous fun doing it, And I've got my favourite stadiums. I've got stadiums that I probably won't go back to, but again, for legal reasons, I'm not going to mention them. But I'll tell you off air on that one. But I can assure you, Craig Diffew would not be happy with me.
Oh, that was my team as well. That
oh, right, okay. Well, that's it. I'm
So, what about darts venues? Have you ever been to many of those?
I've been to the O2 for 3 Premier League finals nights, which were unbelievable. And when you think back to when darts was a pub game, and then I think the first World Championship was held in Jolly's in Stoke, and there was probably a couple hundred people there. To now get 10,000, 12,000 people at a darts event, phenomenal. And it just goes to show you, with the right backing and coverage, what a sport can do and what a sport can offer. And there's a big world family of darts players out there, and if we can get them on side with this event, there's no stopping us, what we could do and what we could raise. And, going forward, I mean, I will look for other people's events and sponsor them, as a thank you for whoever sponsors me as well, because we need to do this, and darts is an amazing thing, 10,000 people. If we took a bucket round, you'd be lucky if you didn't get £1,000, wouldn't you? Because darts players are generous as well. Very generous, as I found out here Friday night.
Yeah.
So
it's something that's just completely different. If you just said, I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna play a whole season. I'm going to do something that's just kind of normal for a dart player to do, then people would be less interested. But 1,000,001 is just mental. It's such a high number. When you really think about it, and really think about how long it's going to take a person to do that, it is really quite impressive.
Yeah, I mean, it's a personal challenge as well. I wanted to test myself. I never really have. When I was at school, I played tennis to competition standards, but I didn't take it any further. I played village cricket for well over 30 years, and I miss that every summer now. But at my age, you don't want to be chasing a cricket ball.
Yeah.
My fun bit of cricket was bowling. I used to bowl at a good standard, and I decided to retire when the opening batsman was starting to grin at me as I ran in. So I miss all that. I gave my golf clubs to a charity shop many years ago, and so darts was what I was left with, and I will continue to play darts as long as I possibly can. I'll look at next year for some fundraising. I mean, I like running quizzes as well, and so I'll probably do quizzes 2 or 3 times during the summer next year. Take a year off from this type of event. But if I can convince Gemma that she doesn't want to break my legs, we may do something again. I quite fancy 10 capital cities around Europe in 10 days.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah. Talking about Gemma, how is it for her? Because when I think about the whole process and stuff, I think, wow, playing darts 6 hours a day that's difficult. But sitting at a computer for 6 hours a day, watching you play darts and typing in the score that you hit, I'd rather be throwing than doing that. How does she cope with it, and how is she getting on with that sort of stuff?
Well, I think it'll be a little bit easier this year with sessions of 2.25 hours to actually sit there for 6 hours. She did have a little bit of help, with my daughters coming along to do a little bit here and a little bit there, and other people sort of did, but she did the great majority of it. I mean, I'd say she probably did about 85%, 90% of it, and she did it to support me, and I'm not sure that I could have done that side of it, sitting there typing in, because she's got to concentrate as much as I've got to concentrate for that period of time.
Yeah,
because the scores have to be accurate. If I hit a 180 and it goes down as 18, we'll be in beds next to each other in hospital. Only kidding, if you're listening. But yeah. I mean, I don't know how she does it, but she wants this to be a big success, and with that level of support, and it will be boring for her. I mean, there is no doubt about it. So the more people who come to the events, and maybe take a turn on the laptop, maybe to give her a break, maybe so she can just get up and go to the loo occasionally.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to stop. I'm going to do that 33 to 34,000 straight through, and then stop and move on to the next one. But I mean, as I say, I don't know what I'd do without it. I couldn't do this. That is for definite.
Yeah. So we've touched on the scoring, the physical side. What about the mental side? Is there sometimes when you're sort of like 2-3 hours in? I guess it's a bit better with the different venues because you get to have a break.
Yeah.
But beforehand, when it was just 6 straight hours, were there any days where you just kind of thought, I don't know how I'm going to do another 3 hours of this?
No.
No?
I'll be totally honest with you, Jack. No, it never entered my head. I can be quite sort of pig-headed, But if I decide I'm going to do something, I will do it. I will see it through, and I didn't allow that to creep into my mind. Maybe there was a couple of times where I felt a little bit tired, and then I thought about the people that I was helping, and it just woke me back up again, and I carried on. But no, I don't have a problem with that side of my life, with mental issues. I know a lot of people do, and it would be more difficult for a lot of people. But once I get on that dartboard, I'm in a different place. It's where I want to be. I mean, yes, of course, I would love to have been up on the stage, playing some of the big tournaments and stuff like that. But I came to terms with that a long time ago, and the fact that I got to the final Friday night was a real thrill.
Oh, the fact that I got through the first round was unbelievable, let alone win it.
Yeah. And when you think that, I was one of the oldest players here, and my partner Jack was one of the youngest. Yeah. And the combination just seemed to work, until we played you.
Yeah. We after the first round, we were really good. We were a good pair. He was very good, and I just wasn't nervous anymore. So I kind of just tidied up, let him do his thing, and tidied up the rest of it.
And the nice thing for Friday night was that there were 4 people in the final who no one would have put a penny on when the competition started.
Yeah, probably not.
And there were a lot of people, good players, who between us we took out, county players, Super League players, and I just thought, wow, in a final with yourself and your partner, and I just thought this is nice, it's nice tonight, and if I ever hear someone say, well, they only won it because so-and-so weren't there, I'll kick them. Because you deserve to win it. You played awesome. This guy almost went out on 150 with one shot out, and I think tried the 3 bullseyes as well on one shot and weren't too far away. So, yeah, it was a good night, and, you deserved the trophy, no doubt about it.
All right, mate, thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. We'll probably wrap it up. If you do want to support Colin, there'll be links and resources and all sorts of stuff in the description, so go and check them out. I'll link all your Twitters and socials and stuff, so if you want to go and give him a follow as well, then go for it. And if you want to support Colin, if you want to donate to the charities, then that'll all be down there as well. Thank you, mate.
Well, thank you, Jack. It's been an absolute pleasure being here. I would never imagine doing something like this. I really wouldn't.
Oh, that's good. Well, thank you, mate. I really appreciate it, and good luck with the 1,000,001.
Thank you very much. Thank
Cheers.
you.